Hello, welcome to Easy English. So today, we're out on the beach on a rainy day in Brighton, and we want to find out what are people's favourite countries. Let's go. What is your favourite country?
My favourite country is France. It's where I grew up and I love the countryside, the weather and the food.
I guess it's going to be Australia.
Oh really? Okay.
Yep, because I've been to a lot of countries around the world, so there's some really interesting ones, but Australia is the one where I've had the best time.
Okay, and you went for a holiday or to visit someone or?
It was work, and I've also been there on holiday.
Right, okay.
So I think if you haven't been to Sydney, then you haven't seen one of the best cities in the world.
What is your favourite country?
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
Yes.
Okay. So please describe to me why Sri Lanka.
I went there for my honeymoon, and so that was already a really good start because it was just incredibly romantic, everything we were doing. But the people were incredible. The food was absolutely amazing. I mean, we started off thinking, oh gosh, who on earth has curry for breakfast? And by the end of our honeymoon, it was curry 3 times a day, and it was just fantastic. And then we went to lots of nature reserves as well. And so just the wildlife that was there was fantastic. The beaches were fantastic. Just everywhere. I couldn't say a bad thing about it.
Wow. What is your favourite country?
My favourite country? I probably have lots of favourite countries. I tend to like mountainous countries. So like Austria. Austria's very, or the Alps. That's sort of lots of countries. So you've got, French Alps or Austrian Alps. They're really good. I also like beach environments. I love like in Brighton. We've got lots of beaches. So again, I like hot, warm beaches, probably Spain. Ibiza's got amazing white sand. So that's, nice white sand beaches. Caribbean, endless places to go.
So broad.
Yeah.
If you need help keeping up with this episode, you could consider checking out our Patreon page. We offer reading, audio, video and chat-based extras to help you follow along with all our episodes and to suit your specific level of English understanding. You can choose from 3 levels of perks. The first level gives you reading materials such as transcripts and vocabulary lists, all related to the relevant episode that you're watching. What is your favourite country?
So I guess I picked New Zealand because it had everything. That's true. Yeah, there was glaciers, there was mountains, there was the jungle, and you could turn around and see it all at once.
Okay, so from that, I'm guessing you're someone who's really into their nature and their wildlife, maybe.
That's true. Yeah.
And that is specifically why it's your favourite country, just for the nature?
Yes, oh my god, yeah. I think I just picked it because of that. Just because of the outside is really, really nice.
What is your favourite country?
I'm going to say America. I lived there for a year, I studied there, and I also proposed to my wife there. So there's a lot of special memories.
Well, it was a hard one to decide, but I'm going to go with India.
Ooh, nice. For what reason?
For the reason that my parents were both born there and met each other there.
Really?
My sister, who is 5 years older than me, was born there. And then the family came to this country when my sister was 6 months old. And my love for India didn't really start until I was old enough to appreciate everything about it. So as a child growing up, I found it very, very strange.
Yeah.
But as an adult, it was quite intriguing. And we have been and visited as much as we've been able to at this point.
Let's get into it. What is your favourite country?
Argentina.
Argentina?
Yes.
I thought you were going to tell me Germany.
No.
Curveball.
People know lots of European countries, and I think, and I'm thinking of, I went travelling with my wife, and we spent quite a bit of time in South America, and Argentina, particularly Patagonia, was stunning landscape. They're right down at the bottom of South America, on the point.
What is your favourite country?
To live in or visit?
It doesn't matter. Even if you just like the look of the flag.
Well, I lived in France for a long time and I really enjoyed that because it's got everything. It's got 2 sets of mountains, amazing beaches, temperate and hot climates, and a bit of sort of, more temperate towards the north, beautiful countryside. Some French people are nice. But I'd have to say the place I've always wanted to visit is Canada and the Rockies in particular. I like a mountainous expanse in a vista.
Okay.
So, for example, I really love the Highlands, where you can see for miles and miles and miles and in uninterrupted views.
What is your favourite country?
Okay, South Africa.
Wow. Okay, this is great. Okay, so describe to me why South Africa is your favourite country.
Okay, we holidayed there for just under 4 weeks, but we travelled from just outside Joburg all the way down to Durban, and then the garden route flew back from Cape Town. Why did we want to go there? We'd never done a safari, wanted to see, love animals. But also my father was in the Second World War, flew with the RAF, flew with the South African Air Force before coming back to the UK and flying here. But so there was a pull there always to see it, because he'd always talked all through our childhood and also before he died, of his love for the African people, the real African people. So that was why we put what we did together.
We moved to France when I was about 10.
Okay.
But I grew up there, so yeah, it's definitely my favourite country.
And whereabouts in France did you say?
South of Bordeaux,
Okay.
so in the southwest.
Nice. And what is it about France that makes it, other than the fact that you are in many ways sort of French as well, what makes it your favourite country?
I think it's just a combination of the sort of weather and the laid-back culture and the food definitely as well.
What is it about Australia, like in particular?
Okay, well, it's clean. They drive on the left, which helps. The bars are fantastic. The food's great. The people, by and large, are friendly. Mind you, the first time I went there, I witnessed a drug dealer stabbing. So that was a bit off-putting. But
still?
I was assured that was a big exception. It even made the national newspapers. So that's how big an exception it was.
Wow.
And Darling Harbour in Sydney, fantastic. Safe, wonderful food. It's just worth going.
What would highlight your Sri Lankan honeymoon?
I actually think the hospitality.
Oh, really?
Everywhere we went, we were just welcomed with kind of open arms, and all the people that we met at every kind of stretch of the way, they were just so kind and just kind of wanted to ask questions and know everything about us. And it was just, it felt like a very friendly country. So we were very lucky, I think.
Okay, and you say this almost like England has...
Not quite the same necessarily. It depends where you go, doesn't it? But I think certainly where we were, if you went out kind of trekking, or you could strike up a conversation with anybody and you could smile and everyone would just be quite receptive to that. Whereas here, perhaps not quite the same at all times.
And in which country?
Probably, it might have to be the Caribbean. It might have to be Caribbean island, probably Dominican Republic, I think, yeah.
And you've been there a couple of times?
I've been there once.
Wow, for kite surfing?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, yes, I did. No, I did. I was sailing as well. So yeah, it was good. It's really good.
Okay. But it's a very specific answer for just one sort of thing. Is there other like elements to the Caribbean or the Dominican Republic that you go for, other than just the great wind?
It's chilled out. Nice. Well, it's a nice chilled out sort of atmosphere.
Yeah.
They like to drink. They like to eat. Like to just hang out. So, like a bit of dancing. It's all there. It's got everything really. So good relaxing holiday. So yeah, I'm going back.
How many times have you been to New Zealand?
Only once. It was
Really?
4 weeks.
Okay.
But I do like England a lot as well because of the same reasons.
Yeah,
Countryside
I
is
see.
beautiful. Yeah.
And so, would you be planning to go back again soon?
If I could, yeah,
If you could?
definitely.
Because of Corona or because of the money of getting to New Zealand from here?
Whoa.
It's pretty expensive, right?
It takes very long to get there, so it has to be like a long plan kind of thing.
Is this enough to make it your favourite country?
Well, I think that the thing about America is that it has everything. It's one of the only countries in the world where you can wake up and surf in the morning and then ski in the afternoon. So it's got fantastic geography and there's just a lot going for it, I think.
And would you recommend, as someone who would live there, would you also recommend someone lives there as well?
Yeah, I think, like I say, it's actually a really diverse country. Any cuisine, even perhaps more so than London, although perhaps a bit more specialist. There's lots of. I lived in California, and there's a very large Asian community, and then of course there's a large Hispanic community, and I love that type of food. I think with America, it's just sometimes it's a shame about the people. There's
go on.
There's the overly friendly, and then there's the complete opposite. So that's a bit of a culture shock, I think, sometimes, especially to a Londoner who's used to sitting in silence on the tube.
Do you have some sort of cool historical stories to why your parents were in India, or is it like a generational thing, or they just immigrated?
Their parents I don't know if their parents were born there. Unfortunately, my dad died when I was 12, so I didn't find out an awful lot from his side of the family. Although his parents, I believe, were both born there. My mother's parents, they had a turf accountant's business over there, which was seen as quite an impressive thing at the time when my mother was growing up. And my mother's family were rich and had servants and led quite a bizarre lifestyle compared to what we know here.
Yeah, wow, I can imagine. From what I get from this, you kind of enjoy it because of the sort of broad nature of the whole place.
I've found that as I've grown older, that nature is more important on a holiday than cities. Just to see different parts of the world.
Okay.
And different nature and rugged terrain. And
so would you live there?
If you could find the right job and the internet was good enough, because we're now in a world with so much remote working.
Yeah, true.
That as long as you could be awake at the hours, that the office hours, wherever your base were, then it would be, you could work there and live there. And although it is very remote from family and friends, it's pretty much as far south as you can go in the world, I think.
Is there more to than just the mountainous side of France that you like, or?
I like the gastronomy.
Yeah.
So the food and wine, and how proud they are of each region and the provenance of their food and their food culture, because I'm a real foodie.
Yeah.
So for that, I would say I'm quite a Francophile, but I'm half French anyway, so I do identify with that.
And do you have plans to go back?
That's an interesting one, and I suppose the political side of America has made it less desirable. I lived there 10 years ago, and I proposed to my wife there 7 years ago. And so I think, yes, I'm sure I will go back, but I might be perhaps choosy about where I go back to.
Yeah. So then, apart from like family history, what is it about India that you just love so much?
Now that I've been, and I say it took us a long time to decide to go there, everything about it really. You see so many different things with the Indian people, but they all seem, even when they haven't got very much, they seem happy. They seem to be looked after if they've got disabilities or if they have no money.
Yeah.
Just from what we've seen going there. We went to Varanasi, where people go to be cremated. It's a huge place where people go when they're dying. People bathe in the Ganges to cleanse themselves in preparation for dying, and there's I know at the moment in the news it's been full of 24-hour cremations, but this was going on long before COVID.
Yeah.
It was a very spiritual place. I don't know, I can't really explain to you, but we both just felt a really strong pull there.
Yeah, it sounds like a nice sense of community.
Yeah, they had a lot of beggars on the streets and a lot of poverty, but they were looked after. There were huge soup kitchen areas where people were looked after, and they were given clothing, and although they lived in some pretty dire circumstances, somebody was looking out for them. And I do feel that in this country that doesn't happen, and it should.
We went to Zulu Natal, which is where my father was based, and the people are living in mud huts, straw. They're very proud if they've got numbers and writings on their houses, because that says they've got electricity. And so when you think of, Cape Town, when we arrived there, it's like any major city in the world, spread out more, but like any major city. But when you think of the bulk of South Africa, the real people of South Africa, it was phenomenal.
Thanks for watching this week's episode. Let us know in the comments below about your favourite countries, and we'll see you next week. Bye. I've honestly never been.
TV star. TV star.
What hair?
Yeah.
Stylist.
It's looking good.
Do you think we could wrap it up because of the rain?
I want to.
Is that all right?